I'm Jake.
Hello, I'm Marlin.
AKA Gee. And hope everybody's doing well. Hope things have lightened up by the time this video goes up in terms of isolation and everything else. And hope everybody's staying healthy, washing your hands. And awesome belated birthday gift from my buddy Alex. And today thought we'd do a reaction to something related to one of the best trapped inside movies ever made, and also because this particular movie is turning 40 fucking years old.
Has it been so long?
Today we're going to be reacting to the honest trailer for Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. This came out a couple months ago to tie in with the Dr. Sleep movie, which is a sequel to that film. And I love the honest trailers. They're very funny, very clever, good satire, and done a few reactions, and I think you've enjoyed them from what I've showed you.
They're very smart, yes.
So without further ado, let's watch and then talk a little about one of the greatest horror films ever made. Comments demanding that he do the movie.
Based on a Stephen King novel Stanley Kubrick threw in the trash, comes an iconic piece of horror cinema.
Here's Johnny.
That was probably scary before it got parodied to death.
Here's Danny. Here's Larry. Here's Cloudy. Here's Ozzy. Here's Pepper. Here's Johnny. Don't.
The Shining. Sit back, way back, for 2.5 hours of Kubrick's signature style. That's either a masterclass in building tension, or kinda boring. In a film that's largely made out of the same 3 shots, characters staring at the camera. Characters pulling a crazy face.
Yeah.
Or characters wandering around. But hey, everything feels creepy when you put that score under it. Oh, it's just you, Wednesday. Journey to the Overlook, an empty hotel on top of an Indian burial ground with a long history of murder. So, like a nice Motel 6.
Cozy.
And settle in with the winter caretaker, Jack Nicholtorrens, who in the book is a loving family man who slowly goes mad over the course of the season as the dark secrets of the Overlook are revealed.
Come and play with us.
Except in this movie, he never really liked his family.
I'm hungry.
Well, you should have eaten your breakfast.
He goes crazy over the course of about a week.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
And the dark secrets of the Overlook were part of the job interview.
Killed his family with an axe.
Wow.
But Jack needs some time and space to write, damn it. And he'll take all the dark paranormal energy he can get if it lets him procrastinate on his novel even more. I could finish this chapter, or I could kill my whole family. Then I'll write 2 chapters, honest, I swear. Jack's not alone in this haunted house. There's Shelley Duvall's Wendy, a woman living in growing fear of her abuser, Stanley Kubrick.
Well, I don't sympathize with Shelley.
Danny Torrance, who shows you don't need fancy CGI to pull a Gollum.
Danny's not here, Mrs. Torrance.
And Dick Halloran, a cook with The Shining, a psychic talent that's kinda useless if he couldn't see this coming. Guy got an axe to the chest after flying coach from Miami to Denver. That's like dying twice. Experience this complex and baffling masterpiece that could be an allegory for anything. The treatment of Native Americans, alcoholism, fate versus free will, alienation, writer's block, Theseus and the Minotaur, the Illuminati, It's All a Dream, Kubrick's confession for faking the moon landing, MK Ultra, They're in Hell, Jack's the Devil, the Holocaust, the patriarchy, the destruction of Kubrick's old neighborhood, a warning about staying in the bath too long, or the importance of regular snowcat maintenance. There we go, that's the one. We cracked the code, you guys. We can stop overthinking it. Check your snowcat. So immerse yourself in horror that breaks all the rules of today. No big shock moments, no elaborate backstories or explanations, and no unstoppable monsters. Just a sad dad who's killed by the wrong choice of jacket. Imagine this came out today. 100% chance this trailer has a weird minor key version of Let It Snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Something the Unusual Suspect would do.
Starring, cut my wife into pieces. This is a ghost resort. Sir, this is a Wendy. My Little Tony. Friendship is magic. Groundskeeper Chili. Blood in an elevator. Hotel Motel. Homicide Inn. The Grady Bunch. The Grady Bunch. FurCon 1980. And don't stay in the bath too long or you'll wrinkle up. So I married an axe murderer. They changed so much from the book. They really should have just let Stephen King have complete control.
If you want something done right, you ought to do it yourself.
Yeah, never a good idea.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Hey, Screen Junkies, we made a feature-length documentary about Galaxy Quest called Never Surrender. It's actually really good. Honest. Your commander is on deck. Click on the left to learn more, or click on the right to see our latest episode of Power Levels, the only place to watch Jamie Foxx fight a Pokemon that's not on the dark web. All work and no play make Homer something something. I told you never to call me on this wall. This is an unlisted wall.
So, what did you think of the honest trailer of The Shining?
I thought it was very clever, and definitely there is a lot of footage of people wandering around by themselves in that big building, and there is a lot of face shots.
Yeah,
that is just like, yes.
I'm like, that is fair. And yeah, not a lot of explanations, but Kubrick didn't need any of that shit.
No, he just had long spaces of stuff with, yeah.
The Shining is, for me, like, I like this honest trailer a lot. It picks apart a few, repeats and obvious things, but it doesn't bash the movie.
No, it doesn't. It shows some inconsistencies. Just like Scatman Crothers, he gets the axe to the chest, and he's a psychic. Bad day. Maybe he's not a psychic on Wednesdays.
I'm like, that's a good point. And
Day off.
The Shining, for me, I saw this movie for the first time when I was 14, I saw it, I believe, very close to New Year's Eve, 2009, so been a long time, and I loved it the first time I saw it. I've rewatched it many times since, and The Shining is just a horror masterpiece. It was scary, had a great uncomfortable atmosphere, and Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall gave excellent performances for their characters. While some think that Jack was just doing his thing, I think he did a great job being just a scary, murderous man.
Yes. And Shelley Duvall, she knew what it was to be terrified.
That and the fact that Kubrick pretty much made her life a living hell on set, but yeah.
And maybe that's part of the reason she knew how to be terrified. This is somebody she's got to work with. I mean, it took a long time to film that thing, right?
The average filming schedule for a Kubrick film could range from 1.5 years to 3 years. Yeah. And I was completely shocked when I found out that this was the first year the Razzies came out.
Mm-hmm.
She was nominated for Worst Actress. And the biggest complaint I've ever heard is people feel like she cries too much. Well, she's in a terrifying situation. What do you expect?
Nobody to go to. She's the go-to person for her kid, and she can't escape.
Danny Lloyd as Danny Torrance.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. This is, I think, one of his only and one of his very last roles before he just decided acting wasn't his thing. And maybe it's because he had Kubrick directing him, but he gave a great performance, especially for a kid actor.
For a child actor, he did roles very well. Yes, his role, his changing role, very well.
A strange kid who's not bad, just scared and gets a little possessed. Like that scene where he talks in the voice.
Mm-hmm.
In the hands of most other directors and most other little kid actors, that would come off as really silly, but in The Shining, it
was chilling, yes,
unsettling.
for sure.
And there's a good point they point at the beginning, Kubrick throwing the book in the trash, because he did change a lot.
Yeah.
And I know it to this day, Stephen King is eternally bitter about it.
Yep.
But say what you will, The Shining is the most well-known and most probably beloved adaptation of one of King's books today. Like, everybody knows it. Everybody knows the famous scene.
Yes.
In the book, they talk about, as they mention here, it's about a good man who's driven crazy by the hotel. And I've heard an interesting take on Kubrick's The Shining that I kind of agree with, which is Kubrick's version, don't think of it as a normal guy going crazy. Think of it as a bad man who's holding on to the last bit of humanity he has, and when he arrives at the hotel, he just goes, fuck it.
Yeah, I think it's more of a guy that just is crazy, and he gets to the hotel and he doesn't have to pretend anymore.
Pretty much what I just said, but yeah.
But I said it better.
And yeah, it's crazy to think that, like Empire Strikes Back, The Blues Brothers, and many others, The Shining is now 40 years old. That's still younger than you.
Yes. Still a lot younger than me. Couldn't you? Whoa, yes.
You would have been...
Decades and decades younger than me.
You would have been around 33-ish when this came out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you first saw it, or just what you thought?
I don't think I went to the movies and saw it. I saw it when it appeared someplace else, or you could rent it, that kind of thing. And it was like, woo, this gets tougher and tougher, and he gets crazier and crazier. But he never wrote a word, except the one sentence, right?
All work and no play make Jack a dull boy.
So
that
he
is,
didn't go crazy.
He's been crazy since the beginning.
Since chapter 1, man.
So, yeah, that put a whole new interesting spin on things. And despite being one of the most famous horror films of all time, Scatman Carruthers getting axed when he arrives is the only on-screen death in the whole film. And it's quite a death. Like, you know it's coming, but when it does, it still is like...
Fire axe to the chest, yep.
And if you really want to see a more accurate adaptation, you can always check out the 1997 miniseries that King wrote himself. And we'll see what you think of it then.
Yes.
I like the little clip they played from the Maximum Overdrive trailer, where King, in his wildest days, is like, I finally directed a movie based on one of my books, and I enjoyed it. King himself was scarier than Maximum Overdrive.
The people that write honest trailers, they are really clever. They're presentation is sarcastic, but right on.
And they have a great voice actor to narrate it.
Oh, yes.
The funniest moment, I think, is when he jumps and he's like, "Oh, it's just you, Wednesday." I think my favorite of the funny names in the trailer was when they do the "Blood in Elevator." Good Aerosmith parody. The friendship is magic with My Little Tony. That was also funny.
Yes.
So, before we close out, you got any final words to say?
I think the presentation by the Screen Junkies was typical, good writing, very clever, and they got to the heart of a lot of features in the movie. They did a good job. 40 years, and this is still Jack Nicholson's face going through the door saying, "Here's Johnny," and that stuck.
I agree. Did a good job summarizing the surrealness, the eeriness, the chilling nature of The Shining. One of their best recent trailers, and great film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And I recommend checking out the Honest Trailer Show, and hope you enjoyed our reaction. If you did, maybe check out more videos on the channel, and if you like those, maybe subscribe.